out one of your favorite things. So we see Garrett, Darley on your left, Hunter, Nance on your right. Both these players 10 and 3, top 8 contention. Life totals are what they are. 14 for Garrett, 15 for Hunter. And it looks like he's going to do some double blocking here of Relentless Dead, which is going to die and come back to the hand. So we go Hunter Nance's way. He's got an active Gideon. He's got a Thraben Inspector, an Oath of Liliana, and a zombie token from that Oath. Looks like he's going to make a Knight Ally now from the Gideon. And we'll see what else Hans can do. He'll go with an Unlicensed Disintegration on the Lord of the Accursed. Darley just deciding, does he want to draw a card with his Crypt Breaker? The answer is yes. He'll pay a life, tap 3 zombies, and he will draw a card.
I mean, if you're playing with Liliana's Mastery, you mean it.
Not messing around.
That is a zombie payout.
Yep. Darley will untap. Do you approve of his swamps? They appear to be all the same and foil.
I believe those are Onslaught.
I believe you are correct.
I appreciate the effort.
Here's Liliana's Mastery.
You mean it.
Yeah?
You don't rush that card. If you're thinking about it, you have to mean it.
As long as you control, get +1/+1. And you get to make some too. Pretty good card. Zombies are going after Gideon.
How did Darley already get a foil copy of this deck? All the cards are new. Look at this graveyard.
You can pre-order your card
yeah,
at StarCityGames.com.
Yeah, he must have leaned into some sales.
A couple copies of Relentless Dead. That's how he did it. Let's take a look at this one here. When Relentless Dead dies, you may pay X. If you do, return another target zombie creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is important to note. There are some zombies in the graveyard here.
So the problem with this card is it's a really mana-intensive 2-drop. And there's a lot of times where you read the card and you imagine the dream of this locking out your opponent and getting back awesome stuff, but the reality is it just dies and you don't have the mana to get something back, or you don't have a graveyard set up. I like that Darley here, he's playing 23 lands. He's playing a higher curve, and he's playing with things like Liliana's Mastery. He's trying to go a little bit deeper, and I think trying to get to turn 7, turn 8, turn 9 really makes Relentless Dead a much more powerful card than trying to just curve out and play as fast as possible.
Well, he's got plenty of mana to make it work right now, that's for sure. Nance is going to play a land.
You can see Hunter is really struggling to keep up against the attrition that's going on here, the amount of control he has over combat.
Dusk.
Oh.
Of Dusk Dawn.
Okay, hold up. Things may be different.
Didn't see this coming. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater.
So that's a real bummer for Liliana's Mastery.
That's the downside of it.
That is the downside.
Garrett gonna read this one. The Dawn half can be good sometimes. 3 white sorcery. Return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. I actually had this in my first Magic Online video with Star City last week in Limited. It had its moments. Sometimes it was okay, other times it was very poor. It's kind of an in-betweener in my opinion, but right now doesn't look too bad.
Maybe get back some Thraben Inspectors.
Oh yeah, get the engine going. That's what I'm talking about. Relentless Dead.
Correction.
So he's going to pay black for each one to bring him back to his hand and then get a Dread Wanderer back as well. So not the end of the world there. Relentless Dead, aptly named card here for Garrett. Here comes Dread Wanderer into Gideon. Can't stop, won't stop.
It's free.
Looks pretty comfortable with the zombies deck here.
Yep. So far, I'll say this, I don't know how it ultimately shapes up in the metagame and, what decks come out of the Pro Tour, all that. This zombie deck looks really good against the card Gideon Allies Zendikar. That has been a very hard card for people to either get on the front foot with and leverage or protect when you're a little bit on the back foot.
That I can 100% agree with. Here's another 2/2. Rarely are you able to kind of out-card advantage some Ardent Vehicles deck. Let's see what this is, Ob Nixilis. And Hunter's going to try to keep up because he's going to get a zombie as well because of the Oath. Now he's just got to try to figure out how he wants to use Ob Nixilis.
But, I mean, none of these are the most appealing creatures to kill.
No, not really. He's just going to draw a card right now instead. This has been an interesting little game here. You see about 15 minutes left on the clock, because who's going to be able to out-card advantage who? One of these players has a Gideon and an Ob Nixilis along with Oath, so every time a Planeswalker shows up, another zombie is going to be made with the Oath of Liliana. But Garrett has Cryptbreaker. He's got Relentless Dead, which are relentless. And he's got these Dreadwanders that keep coming back.
Yeah, really hard to protect your Planeswalker that makes a 2/2 every turn from 3/3 menace creatures that get themselves back.
Yeah. What Garrett kind of needs is another Lord, sort of. Looks like he's picked up just a couple lands here. Yeah, he's got 2 swamps in his hand. Still think he wants every land that he can get his hands on, and of course he can turn those swamps into zombies with Cryptbreaker.
Yeah.
So there's some things he can do here.
And when you have Relentless Dead in the equation, you can use more lands than you otherwise would.
Going after Gideon.
You know, like, have we hit the point here where Hunter just gives this up? Because he has, you know, spent a lot of equity protecting this Gideon, and it looks like a lot of tire spinning. And I just don't know at what point you say this is a lost cause. I guess the issue is once Gideon's no longer there, that Darley can start going after your Ob Nixilis, and then you have nothing going on. All right, looks like you just gave it up. It's just too hard to protect in the long term.
Dreadwander is back. Pass the turn back. Well, one Planeswalker down. Now the zombies move on to the next thing they want to eat.
How?
Yeah. Hunter will take a look through the graveyard here. Keep in mind he hasn't used Ob Nixilis just yet. We might see Dawn here from him as he taps this mana. It'll actually be Nahiri, which brings a zombie along with it as well. Nahiri is going to take care of Relentless Dead for good.
Yep, exiling at a premium here.
Ob Nixilis. Where does that want to go? Down. Up. Up. Draw a card.
So how many of these late game Planeswalkers does Nance have in his deck?
Walking Ballista is pretty good now too. For Hunter, we're going to find one Nahiri in the main this weekend.
One on the board and one Ob Nixilis.
Yep.
And one Chandra.
And all those Gideons. No Sorns, it looks like.
So this is a precious commodity. He doesn't have all the Planeswalkers in the world here. I think the game's going to be determined here in the next few turns if Darley's able to get to these Planeswalkers or if he gets shut out.
Fatal Push will take care of Cryptbreaker.
And Nance really starting to pull ahead in just the raw card count, the card advantage game. Darley's lost a lot of his sources.
Well, you take a look there at Nance's battlefield, and he's just started to clutter it up. You know, the Oath of Liliana may not seem like much against the zombie deck, but being able to make a couple zombies can't hurt. He's got a bunch of ancillary creatures out there like Walking Ballista and Night Ally from Gideon, Thraven Inspector, which does a nice job of chump blocking, plus 3 zombies. And then 2 Planeswalkers that matter a lot there in Ob Nixilis and Nahiri. So now Garrett's got to figure out where the heck he can attack.
Seems like finishing off Nahiri right now, or at least forcing some blocks on Nance's side, is a priority. You probably can't get rid of Ob Nixilis all in one shot, and Nance can simply say, okay, 1 or 2 come across, I'll blot the other, you don't really get anywhere. Since you actually have a shot of getting to Nahiri, or at least forcing some bad blocks, I think I would start there.
Darley looks like he's going to be going after a Planeswalker, but we'll see. He's going straight at Hunter.
Awesome. Wasn't expecting that. Awesome.
Enough of this Planeswalker nonsense. I'm going to try to get you dead. It's about that time.
Yeah, I mean, if he feels like it's not, I guess the other issue is if you send everything at Nahiri or Ob Nixilis or what have you, Nance can go, okay, no blocks crack back at you for a bunch. Garrett's at 12 and Nance has a board, so.
Walking Ballista is going to help with Thraven Inspector to take care of a Dreadwander. Some damage will come across here. This is another copy of Relentless Dead. And this is the returning of a Dread Wanderer. There's the battlefield tapped. Pass it back.
This is a sweet game.
Definitely a sweet game. Both players seeing a lot of cards. Doing a lot of things as Nance is going to draw a card here with Nixilis. A card we'll take a look at.
It's another incentive there to go after Nance. Is one of the better ways to take the sting out of Nixilis going up is just go after the life total.
Just try to kill him. You see Nixilis' ultimate. Target opponent gets an emblem with whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. Nahiri took care of Liliana's Mastery. Now Nance is tapping a bunch of mana. What do you got here? Maybe a Walking Ballista? Maybe it's Dawn time? Yep. He's going to get back a couple Thraben Inspectors. Looks like a Walking Ballista.
Oh, Dawn with Walking Ballista is sweet.
Combo!
That is nice.
There's a land.
This is a cool game.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Ballista on 2 now. Let's go over to Garrett Darley again. Remember, he's playing off the top of his deck. $12-9 in favor of Garrett at the moment. Nance out there with 3 zombies, Walking Ballista on 2 and a Night Ally, along with Nixilis that can threaten the ultimate. For Garrett Darley, 2 Dread Wanderer, 2 Relentless Dead, and a zombie.
He drew a spell. I don't know what it is, but
I don't know what it is
not
either.
a swamp.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
If it was you last time, it's you this time, I'm sure.
Well, we thought it was going to be everybody.
It's like, sweet game, everyone throwing haymakers, not clear who's going to win. This is good.
Looks like it's just going to be Dread Wanderer now. Boink, boink. Kill those. Relentless Dead hanging back.
And Nance there showing he's really putting a premium there on protecting his life total. Feels like he has a huge advantage here if he can just get out of the next couple of turns.
Ooh, he's going to cash in Nixilis right away. Says you get an emblem. You draw a card, you lose 2. I'm done drawing extra cards. This is for you.
A gift.
Nance a lot of cards because of Dawn.
Yeah, the plan here might just be chump block, hold off, and use the emblem plus Walking Ballista to finish out the game in a shot.
Here is Thraben Inspector. Sacrifice that. Crack a clue. Thraben Inspector. Crack a clue. It's another Oath of Liliana.
Which really is worth almost nothing here.
Yep, cracking clues.
This also has the nice additional benefit of shooting down Garrett.
Yeah?
Do the Nixilis emblem.
Yeah, it's true. Garrett's fallen down to 6.
He'll go to 4, so the Ballista in Nance's hand is lethal.
Yeah, that's true. Let's take a look at that emblem for Nixilis. Make sure you got a good understanding of that card. Target opponent gets one whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. Got it. I think Hunter Nance has crafted a nice little plan here.
Yep. Just try to chump block out of this.
Because now Garrett's down to 4. Hunter will draw a card for his turn. Put him down to 2, and then you talk about Walking Ballista, and this is all he really gets to do now, Garrett. And Hunter's got plenty of chump blockers. Say that. Hunter, going to take a look at the graveyard, make sure he doesn't make some sort of egregious error here.
And you can see it's just chump, 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 chump. Don't care about losing my whole board.
Just make sure nothing dumb happens.
Yep. And he's double chump blocking the Relentless Dead because they have Menace.
Chump block city. Don't have a great look at what Darley has drawn over the past couple of turns. 9 lands on the battlefield here for Garrett. And that is going to do it. Hunter Nance has found a way to work through the Zombie Menace with an Ob Nixilis emblem. His other Planeswalker certainly helped. We cannot understate the value of Oath of Liliana cranking out a couple zombies there. As Hunter Nance does win this match over Garrett Darley, 2-1. Martin Vehicles will take down Mono Black Zombies, and for Hunter Nance, he is still in top 8 contention.
Yeah, nice job by Hunter there. Bending but not breaking over the course of several turns there to try to set up that Ob Nixilis emblem. I think he identified at a pretty early point there that trying to attack on the ground was just impossible because of the Relentless Deads and other things that